Hi, everyone. Happy Veterans Day. It's Commissioner Richardson for District 2. We spend today we take the time to celebrate all of the veterans that are within our community and within our extended communities, because honestly, if you are here, you have someone in your family who's a veteran, who has served, who has worked to protect our rights, and many have given to the greatest extent that they could give in order to make sure that we could have all of the freedoms that we enjoy here in the States. And so I just wanted to do this video to talk about not just celebrating our veterans, but also the fact that we have some real hurdles, some real issues that our veterans face within the Cobb community, and that we really want to focus on overcoming some of these challenges. And so I have with me my cabinet member for Veterans Affairs, Dan Hydrick. Dan, would you like to just say a few words about who you are, your rank, your involvement?
I'm Dan Hydrick. I'm a Vietnam era war veteran, if you will. Served from 69 to 70. Got banged up a little bit. I currently am supporting veterans throughout Georgia. It's an honor and a pleasure. Happy Veterans Day, guys. And guys being generic, because we have a coalition of women out there too, can never be forgotten. So I'm happy to be able to serve again, and that's the big mission here. And I appreciate Commissioner Richardson and all those that are pushing forward Veterans Affairs. And as you alluded to earlier, yep, we have some hurdles.
Absolutely. And Dan, thank you for your service.
You're quite welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
Celebrate you too today. So on to some of the issues that really, they're not new. You've probably heard these spoken about, but for those that are not aware, our veterans face mobility issues, access to health care, issues around having a place to live, affordability issues, access to mental health resources, even being able to get access to benefits. We'll share a little bit about DD-214s and the role that they play with helping veterans get access to some of the benefits that are usually associated with serving in our military. We as an office have partnered in quite a number of different ventures to try to tackle some of these issues. And so I wanted to bring Dan on to share a little bit about what those partnerships have looked like, what successes we've had, and what are some of the things that we're currently working on. So Dan, perhaps we can start off with the POD initiative.
It was one of the greatest to begin this year. Sheriff Owens was absolutely fantastic. His crew with Deputy Chief Anderson and Colonel Atkins, they have set up a compliance pod so that as veterans are incarcerated, and they'll have a place to where we can get to them. I serve as a mentor for Cobb County Veterans and Accountability and Treatment Court. Gives us a chance to get to them, to vet them, to see if we can get them back on the right track, if you will, and get them out of the prison. So the kicker is we set up a pod. We have a lady who volunteered that's going to be, name was Anna Morales. She's going to do murals on the wall, military murals. We found out through the course across the United States that veterans have a strong bond, and when they're incarcerated, if they are joined together, they help one another move forward. So I give great kudos to Sheriff Owens in moving that forward. We have obviously a District Attorney, Flynn Brody, working very hard. He's a first sergeant, so Top's out there working really hard to make sure that the justice system is reformed for veterans. So there's a lot going on with some very, very strong, as you know, Sheriff Owens is a Command Sergeant Major retired. DA is a First Sergeant retired infantry. I'm the lowest ranking of the group. I'm just a lowly sergeant. That's all I know. But we move it forward. So the detention center is going great. We're pleased. Their connection with Sheriff Owens and the connection with Supreme Court Justice Cale is remarkable. they're moving forward, and I'm greatly appreciative of that, because sometimes veterans do step in it, take a different path. The court system and the judicial system and the incarceration systems are working well for helping us out. You wanted to talk about the things that are cooking in Cobb, and first of all, I want to thank you, Commissioner, for a lot of the support that you've given us. As those listening may know, I serve as your Veterans Cabinet Affairs liaison, if you will. All things veteran, that we can get it done, and I truly appreciate you setting it up so the voice can be heard. You want to talk about the DD 214 now?
Yeah, move on to DD 214.
Let's do this.
Big access issue.
It's a very simple thing. It is your military ID, basically. When you get out of the service, or well, even in the service, you have this thing called a DD 214. It is your lifeline to veterans benefits as you get out. Without it, there really is no eligibility. We have hit a very hard snag in the ability for the National Archives and others to relinquish those records, more or less find them. We have talked to, not only through this group, the Commissioner's Office, we've talked to the Congress folks, we've talked to the senators. Now it's straight up to the senators pushing toward President Biden. It is critical that we have the DD 214s, the access to them, because without them, we don't have an eligibility letter for the veterans, and without that, they have zero access to the VA and their rights under the Constitution and the contract they signed with their life. So we're pushing very hard. There's a lot of good folks out here that really want to see this go forward, but for some reason, it's going to take a group to push it forward. And that's the biggest hurdle on the DD 214, is getting eligibility. Once the veterans are eligible, there's such a great coalition of 501c3s and for-profit organizations out here. Cobb County is, albeit they're one of the strongest for veterans population, they have a lot of folks that are willing to help in any way they can. The Cobb Coalition and the Cobb legal aid groups, we're bonding together to try to link hands for services that the veterans need. So we're going to set up a both in person and a Zoom on the November 17th to bring everyone together. It's going to take like they say, it takes a village. It's going to take a county, Cobb County in particular. But there is a great presence here in Cobb to back our military folks all the way down the line, and I'm very proud of that. We're structuring now to move forward on that meeting to try to identify in a better way to have what they call veteran services of the VSO, to be totally certified so that veterans can go in a multitude of places to become eligible and get their paperwork. The only problem is we only have 4 in the state of Georgia. and there's only, well, they're never going to catch up until we fix these things. On Veterans Day, you have a time of thanking everybody, but it's also an understanding that once the day come and goes, we still have a great need for, as you said, the homeless, the unemployed, the onto the mental stages of it. A lot of good groups want to help them. We just need to get that out in the world, right? For our little county, but our little county has a large population of veterans. They have one of the largest populations of Vietnam veterans. They're older. They have grown weary over life. They have maladies that can't be just whisked away. The 9/11, the group after 9/11, about 20% of those of the total. It's hard. We just ended a 20-year war. Now it's up to everybody to step up and really help them. Yeah.
Got a lot of people that are returning home, and for me, that's one of the reasons why that DD 214 pipeline really has a heavy priority that needs to happen. People have given their time, given their lives, and the best of their lives to be able to protect us, and we need to give them their due. They earn those benefits, blood, sweat, and tears. So we need to make sure we're doing our part to support that. And, we know the volume is going to be even higher with troops as they return home. So making sure that that's taken care of, making sure we don't have clogs in the system, and then certainly dealing with some of the benefits that are even available. We know that there are access issues, the VAs that are open and being able to get there, you got to go cross counties to get there. That's not always an option for everyone. And so certainly factoring a lot of those mobility issues into these mobility considerations that we're taking on for some of the mobility decisions next year. And also within planning and zoning, there are some opportunities there from a design standpoint and how people get from one place to another. And I know there's some affordability conversations that are taking place as well. But we do have some incredible nonprofits here who do a lot in terms of case management and placing individuals into temporary housing and for some transitioning them into permanent housing. And so looking to buffer some of those efforts and really just provide the support. So if there is, my one thing for those listening would be support at least a nonprofit. Find a nonprofit to lend your time, money, or talent to, and time, money, or treasure, as the phrase goes. But certainly give that. That is a way to truly celebrate, enjoy the festivities, thank a veteran. But there are a lot of gaps in terms of how we service those that come home. So please, time, talent, treasure to those nonprofits that work tirelessly, and partner with Dan, partner with my office to help push some of these things along. There are other things that we're also working on as well. And just because we've set a list of things doesn't mean that that's exhaustive either. So if you have your own ideas on what you want to bring to the table, bring them to the table, because we are not afraid to look at these complex issues. They can feel intimidating and scary because the solutions aren't always obvious. But I do have hope that when we do come together, we can solve anything, just about anything. I think we'll cover that. That'll conclude, I guess, the pieces that we can cover in this time period. I want to just open up with that invitation. Dan, do you have any comments you want to make?
Commissioner, this. Cobb has done a great job. They're going to do more with the board's emphasis, with the commissioner's emphasis. We're opening up a very, very large veterans clinic here in Cobb County. We've opened the smaller boxes, albeit we can't get them staffed and we can't get the doctors in there. But I will put this out there for everyone. If you are a veteran and you do not have in your possession your DD-214, you need to start right now before anything else evolves and ask for it. Seek it out. It's going to be the most difficult thing in the world until we get this plugged up. But reach out to every organization you can. We all have the same problem. We have the capability of treating, taking care of the homeless, taking care of the needs of transportation, the food boxes. But we have to validate that you're a veteran. And the only way that can be done is through your DD-214. So we're pushing that. And you're right. There's just so many people out there with a big heart. I mean, we're going to get this done, but we have a tremendous amount. Georgia has almost 800,000 veterans. Cobb County has, as the stats seem to roam back and forth, anywhere from 45 to 70,000. We have military bases right here in Cobb County, and we love them. We love the folks that serve. We want to serve them, and it's going to take a lot of folks' shoulder behind the wheel. So I do appreciate the commissioner, and truly all those that step up. It takes a county. It takes a village. It takes a county.
Team effort. Well, Dan, you're invaluable. I just so appreciate all of your expertise, all of your experiences, your wisdom as well, because those two things don't always come with wisdom. But truly, I'm grateful to have you on the team in helping solve these issues, because they are serious. They require delicacy. They require thoughtfulness. You have all of that in spades, and you have the compassion that goes along with it. So it's really just bringing everybody together. If you want to help, reach out to the office or time, talent, treasure to those nonprofits Do your part. Think of that. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Happy Veterans Day, guys.